here's an argument that the prosecution tried to present yesterday.
Vaccinate my turtle.
That Kyle's gun strap. I know you're not going to believe me, so I'm going to present it to you. Here's the context, and you can go watch the 7 hours yourself. That Kyle Rittenhouse's gun strap should have made him comfortable with someone grabbing his gun.
What?
Here you go. So this is what's going on with Kyle Rittenhouse. All right. This is important here because if you were looking at the leftist media, you will notice a trend. They are admitting they were wrong about everything because they know they can be sued now. So I have seen multiple outlets saying it was initially reported that he had taken weapons across state lines. We were incorrect. Yeah, because you were the ones who initially reported it. So we initially reported that Rosenbaum was being chased by Kyle Rittenhouse. We now know that is incorrect. Yes, because you're the ones who made it up. There was plenty of footage available. However, there is more footage that was made available. We did our stream. You can go and watch it for 4.5 hours. We covered the opening statements. Here's the thing. There's a new report that shows the FBI had HD, an HD version of the footage that we showed on, and we're going to show it to you again, that they did not give the defense and they may have destroyed. Wow. So keep this in mind too. I'm about to show you this footage. The prosecuting attorney said there's FBI footage too that the public has not seen, which we think will show that Rittenhouse was chasing Rosenbaum. First off, why was that not given to the defense? That's not how this works with evidence. That's how it's absolutely supposed to happen. Why did the FBI withhold this information? And by the way, it doesn't help the prosecution at all. When you watch this, it's very, very clear that Kyle Rittenhouse was chased into a kill trap by Rosenbaum and the man who fired the first shot. This is the kind of footage that the FBI was sitting on that could easily result in the dismissal of all charges, exoneration, and hopefully an apology. The FBI is not your friend. The FBI is using this as a political tool. They had this footage this whole time. If they were interested in making sure that the guilty are put behind bars and that the innocent go free, this is something that not only would have been in line with precedent as far as presenting evidence, both sides in a court case need to be able to review all evidence, but it also would be the right thing to do. So here's the non-HD version, which is heavily edited. The only one that exists according to the FBI, which we played on Tuesday. So you see, they're yelling, get him, get him, get him. Rittenhouse is saying friendly, friendly, friendly. And that is Rosenbaum, who now runs out from behind the car to chase Kyle Rittenhouse. Do you see that right there? He's clearly chasing Kyle Rittenhouse. And Rosenbaum's last words, keep in mind, serial pedophile, to a minor were, fuck you.
Yeah.
Nice.
How's that for irony?
Yeah. By the way, so there's context here too. In that last part of the video,
he forgot to say I want to.
Fuck me?
I totally
No. Fuck you.
I mean, will you?
Just for context, he was running between cars. On the other side of those cars was an even larger crowd of people, and you could see the guy chasing him, Rosenbaum, closing the distance.
Well, what you can see is Kyle Rittenhouse is running. And then you see Rosenbaum go between the cars. That's where he puts a face covering on, a T-shirt, whatever it is. We don't know why. Could be to cover his identity. Could be because all of a sudden he's like, oh, COVID's still real.
Yeah.
And then he decides to run around the car and chase him. So
from behind,
From behind. And then a gunshot is fired. And the guy's yelling, get him, get him, get him. And Rosenbaum's last words are, fuck you, as Kyle Rittenhouse turns around and hears gunshots. Come on, guys. And this is something that the FBI always had access to?
Yeah. And by the way, when asked about this, the FBI said that they lost.
Yeah.
Whoops.
We lost it. Well, look, you're either incompetent or dishonest. Take your pick, but you shouldn't be in charge of anything. So the prosecuting attorney, Binger, these are some of the arguments that were made. He was trying to admit a cell phone video with biased commentary from a witness.
Yeah.
So I want to set this up here really quick. It's been a bad day for the arguments from the prosecuting attorneys.
It's weird.
The prosecutor tried to justify. They were basically saying, okay, here's some cell phone footage. And the cell phone footage now, because there's so much footage out there that shows this case for what it is, has someone providing commentary to try and create a biased slant.
Right.
And the prosecutor tried to justify it, saying that the judge had admitted Rosenbaum's criminal record. Anyway, Bruce Schroeder shut down the prosecutor, the judge, when there was an objection. Like, hey, hold on a second. Just show the footage. Don't show commentary.
Right.
It's like you don't admit MSNBC covering Rittenhouse. You show the raw footage. When the FBA can find it. Look behind the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, assholes. I mean, aren't you the FBI? You're the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Investigate it. Find out where the tape is. Would you record it on beta?
tape just got
Hey,
ruined.
We loaned it out.
Oh, and Americans
Signed
now, the
for it.
Republican Party is dangerous because they're sowing mistrust in our institutions. Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
It
really
must
us.
be. Yeah,
Sure, it's not the institution, so
Right,
mistrust
right. Yeah, yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
yeah. It must be. Chris Christie's fault.
Yeah.
Well, and also give it to the defense when they ask for it.
Yeah.
Let's not wait until the last minute to give it to them.
It's very clear, but this judge is
Chopped
not
up
taking
away.
the crap, so he shut down the prosecution when they were trying to present this bias evidence. And just watch it; it's great.
I understand the objection. The problem is there are portions of this that don't have anything to do with the defendant that describe the scene, and I'm trying to give the jury
That's
a sense of the
hearsay.
scene.
It's hearsay.
I'm not
This is-
introducing anyone's statements for the truth of the matter asserted. I'm introducing it for the state of mind of the defendant as he watches
If
this
it's
scene.
not for the truth of the matter asserted, it's irrelevant. So there's two different parts of the rule. One of them is the defendant has to have been aware of the decedent's violent acts or turbulent behavior. In the other one, it's circumstantial evidence of the victim's violent behavior at the time of the incident. That's what I admitted it on. Now, one of these, this was on CNN, Jeffrey Toobin and another attorney there.
He was masturbating on a Zoom call.
The comment was made that the ruling was incomprehensible. And I think they obviously are not familiar with this rule.
Yeah, CNN. Is that what counts for news? No, it's just Jeff Toobin whacking it. This is why the left hates this judge, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because he
Why, 'cause he's
distrusts
right?
the media. If someone has mistrust of the media, you're automatically labeled right wing. And by the way, he probably is more of a center right, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Why? Because he doesn't like CNN.
Yeah.
He doesn't like stupid legal analysts who don't understand how to read the next paragraph.
He
makes it-
likes the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it really easy to see your kind of team jersey now. When people talk about
Yeah.
polarization in the United States, I go, you know what? If I see a guy driving in his car by himself, double masked, I know he's my enemy.
Yeah, I know.
Probably
he's an
not going to be
idiot.
hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's like who are you going to catch that from?
Yeah, yeah. I just
You.
know, but I also know that guy wants to mandate that I vaccine my 12-week-old twins. So you know what? No. So on Tuesday, when we live streamed the opening arguments, this is so bad from the prosecution. We were joking about how it almost seemed like the prosecution, because keep in mind, the reason that the left has had to apologize to all of these outlets, all of the YouTube channels, all CNN, MSNBC, the reason they had to apologize and say, okay, we were wrong about the fact that a gun was carried across state lines. Okay, we were wrong about the fact that Rittenhouse was chasing Rosenbaum, which I know a lot of you here may not know because you don't watch a lot of leftist news, which I encourage you to do. That's why all references are available at louderwithcrowder.com. They had never seen the footage, which we have shown you, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it for a long time. So the reason the left had to apologize is because these facts were brought to light by the prosecution. The people who are trying to put Kyle Rittenhouse away had to say, well, he didn't bring a gun across state lines. Oh, by the way, Rosenbaum was chasing him. And when we were watching it live, it was almost like we had stumbled into Bizarro world. I thought maybe maybe just a slow starter, like
Yeah.
Joe Frazier.
Yeah, he'll get it.
He's got a plan.
Takes a while
He's
to
doing
find
something.
his rhythm, you know?
I'm getting
No.
better.
Here's an argument that the prosecution tried to present yesterday.
Vaccinate my turtle.
that Kyle's gun strap. I know you're not going to believe me, so I'm going to present it to you. Here's the context, and you can go watch the 7 hours yourself. That Kyle Rittenhouse's gun strap should have made him comfortable with someone grabbing his gun.
What?
Here you go.
And it's showing you and the other individuals at the 63rd Street car source. Is that right?
Yes.
Are you wearing the sling in that photograph?
Yes, it appears.
And is that sling holding that gun in the front portion of your body?
Yes.
Does the defendant have his sling on with his gun being held similar to you?
Yes.
Was that sling strong enough to hold the weight of that gun?
Yes.
Was that sling strong enough so that if someone tried to pull that gun away, the gun would be held to your body?
Yes.
I have nothing further.
Can you redirect? Or recross, rather?
I would move Exhibit 30.
He considers that a win.
Objection?
It's like,
I rest my case. By the way, who was that witness? Was that Adam Ruin's case law?
Wow, that was an amazing maneuver of.
No further questions.
What? So he did in fact grab his gun. Yeah, he went for his gun. I rest my case.
Yeah. Here's another argument the prosecution made. And this matters. It just shows you how paper thin. There's nothing that they have here. The guy tries to insinuate that Kyle's friend, the guy who looks like College Humor's Adam Ruins, case law, being attacked on a roof by rioters is the same as Kyle on the ground being attacked and bludgeoned in the head. But here's the thing. Even then, in trying to draw this false equivalency of like, well, you didn't think you needed deadly force when you were on a roof, he still actually, just like he said riots, he's like, why didn't you feel the need to protect yourself? Watch what he says. He uses the word, why didn't you feel the need to protect yourself when they were just throwing their little gas bombs? I swear to you. Watch it.
Mr. Richards questions that someone is throwing some sort of water bottle or gas bomb up on the roof. Is that right?
Yes.
Very different.
When these folks were doing these things to you and the other members of your group, did you point a gun at anyone?
No.
Did you fire at anyone?
No.
Why not?
Because there's no need to. I mean,
Did you feel that by these
Restraint?
people throwing rocks at you or throwing a gas bomb at you, that you were in danger?
Rocks and gas.
Just a little
I
difference
mean,
there.
pain, yes, but not danger. I knew it wasn't going to kill me.
So you felt like it wasn't enough to use deadly force?
Correct.
No further.
No,
like first off, a water bottle or a gas bomb is not a mundane detail, Michael. It's like
Paper
one
plane
is
or
thrown at a
atom
Justin Bieber concert because
Yeah,
he won't
yeah.
do an encore. The other is something the Penguin uses to take over Gotham. So his point is, he's trying to say you didn't feel
only
the need
know
to use deadly
sports.
force. He was on the roof. There's a huge difference between that and being on the ground with someone hitting you in the head, kicking you in the head, and then someone else coming up with a gun to shoot you in the head.
He's building up their restraint. He just said we didn't feel like that
great
was
point.
deadly.
Yeah.
Later on, when you're being chased,
Yeah. And
a
beaten,
gunshot
shot at,
rings
That's
yelled
a
at.
great point.
Yeah.
Like, when they were throwing water bottles and gas bombs and zip guns and chains up on the roof, you didn't feel the need to defend yourself or use deadly force? No, we didn't. Oh. So you issued restraint until you were down on the ground being beaten within an inch of your life? Yes, sir. Interesting.
Now, when he pulled a gun on you, was it a sandwich?
It was dark. Could it have been a footline?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't an AR-15. How could you tell? Because I know the model. It's a Daniel Defense. And what a
Well,
big man you are.
Could have been a water bottle. I don't
Could have been a water bottle. I don't know. They get clever with those new water bottles. You ever see that Life Water? Has a squeeze tube. You only have to open the cap. Here's his next argument. Hand to God.
Stupid.
All references are available. Hand to God.
Real footage.
You're not going to believe what I'm about to say.
Sketch.
No. He argues that Rosenbaum, and you see in that footage that he ducks behind the car and puts something over his face, right? So the second he sees Kyle Rittenhouse, right, he hides Kyle Rittenhouse is coming, covers something over his face before him and his buddy, his guy in coordination, shoots the gun, and he yells, "Fuck you." Pardon my language, but I want to quote this accurately.
Right, yeah.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
It was the code word.
He's arguing that the reason he went and decided to Lawrence of Arabia his face was because he was distressed from COVID here.
I think you indicated that his face was obscured by the shirt. Is that right?
Yes.
Were you wearing a mask that night?
Yes, yeah, you could tell by my voice. I was muffled the entire night, yeah.
And this was in August of 2020 when there was a lot of COVID going around, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Is it fair to say that a lot of people that night had face coverings?
Yes.
Yeah, by the way, the prosecution also blamed the emotional stress of COVID for this.
Shoot me, nigga!
Look, it's a symptom.
Yep.
You must have had one of those breakthrough cases.
One of those. Very distressed.
Yeah, that would make sense, prosecuting dummy, if he wasn't seen all night repeatedly yelling the N-word without a face covering. This is the prosecution smoking gun here. Like, they really were smug about this. This is like the glove that doesn't fit.
Oh, boy.
They were trying to say, right, that Kyle was chasing Rosenbaum down. Remember, during the original stream, they said they had FBI footage that showed Kyle Rittenhouse was chasing Rosenbaum. The prosecution's own witness said no and refuted this. Here you go.
Would you agree with me, Mr. Washington, that as you pass by the defendant and Joseph Rosenbaum heading south on Sheridan Road, that the sequence of individuals is Mr. Rosenbaum is further south ahead of the defendant, Mr. Rittenhouse?
Correct, yes.
And you were asked by Attorney Binger in terms of the direction that people are heading. that Mr. Rosenbaum is further south than Mr. Rittenhouse in that picture, right?
Yes.
Okay. You'd agree on that video, it doesn't appear that Mr. Rittenhouse is chasing Mr. Rosenbaum, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It appears they, like multiple other people, are simply walking south. Agreed?
Yes.
Wow.
And the prosecutor's not even smart enough to go, shit. He's going like, well, I told you I had an ace in the hole.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm getting better.
My witness.
Who's the assistant next to him, that big dude who's just like writing stuff down like, we're not going to win this?
Okay, you guys can come. Is it me? Look, I want to know if I have a blind spot. Now, keep in mind, I've watched the arguments from the left on the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and I just will say it's just lies. I'm like, well, they say Kyle Rittenhouse was chasing him. That's a lie. They say that Kyle Rittenhouse brought a firearm across state lines. Well, that's just a lie. They say that that he was the one who fired the first shot. That's just a lie. I've watched all of the raw footage, not the raw footage that the FBI has destroyed, of course.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. You comment below. Let me know what you think is even the possibility of a jury coming back saying guilty. Maybe on the firearm charge.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.